Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Captain Rory Cooley, and I will be the narrator for today's change of command ceremony, where we will recognize the change in leadership of the 92nd Operations Group from Colonel Russell Davis to Colonel Chad Daniels. During the course of today's events, there will be several times at which those in attendance will be asked to stand. During the national anthem, military members will stand at attention. It is appropriate for the civilian guests to place their right hand over their heart. From ancient times, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate the victory over the enemy, to honor comrades in arms, and to celebrate special occasions such as the changing of command. In modern times, the primary purpose of the change of command is to allow units to witness the formal transfer of total responsibility, authority, and accountability from one officer to another. These ceremonies have added color and pageantry to military life while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. Our goal today is to continue the change of command tradition while recognizing the geographical constraints and current global conditions of the world we are in. We're grateful to Colonel Davis for his hard work and accomplishments in commanding the 92nd Operations Group, and we hope this ceremony will provide a sense of closure while acknowledging the transition of Colonel Daniels as the new commander. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of colors, the singing of the national anthem by Staff Sergeant Sidney DiVitale, and the invocation given by Chaplain John Ritter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be at ease. Luke 16:10 says these words, "He who is faithful in what is least is also faithful in much." I invite you to pray with me. Heavenly Father, we have gathered here at this moment to honor our leaders. Today we will say farewell to Colonel Davis, who has commanded the 92nd Operations Group. He's been that person who has been faithful in caring for his airmen and those around him, looking to help each one to be successful, not only at their job, but in life. As he and Michelle move on to a new place, I ask, Lord, that you give them both your guidance and to be guided by your presence. May they continue to bless others and be a pillar of strength for others to lean on in this world that is needing your strength. As the guidon is passed today from one commander to another, may your spirit of wisdom always be present with our new commander, Colonel Christopher Daniels. As he takes the reins of the ops group, may your divine guidance be at work at all times, helping him and Tina to mold and mentor those in which he has been chosen to lead. As each squadron works to fulfill the mission of providing for our nation's forces the ability to project America's might, may they be successful in continuing the great job they have been doing, and to do things that are even greater and above and beyond. I ask God that you now bless this ceremony our leaders, and our nation as we endeavor to serve so that freedom continues to reign. I pray this in your holy and precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant David Tolley and Chaplain Ritter. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the official party. The presiding officer, the commander, 92nd Air Refueling Wing, Colonel Cassius Bentley, and his wife Trina. The outgoing commander, Colonel Russell Davis, accompanied by his wife, Dr. Michelle Davis, his daughter Haley, his mother Janine Brothers, and his father-in-law, Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Cheetah, United States Air Force, retired. The incoming commander, Colonel Chad Daniels, accompanied by his wife Tina and his daughters First Lieutenant Kirsten Kent and Summer. To help recognize the importance of this ceremony, we are joined today by a number of special and distinguished guests. The commander, 141st Air Refueling Wing, Colonel Larry Gardner. The vice commander, 92nd Air Refueling Wing, Colonel Gene Jacobus and his wife Heather. The vice commander, 141st Air Refueling Wing, Colonel Kurt Tininga. The group commander, 141st Operations Group, Colonel Gregory Knowlton and his wife Christy. Military liaison for Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers, Mr. Charlie Duranona. Honorary Commander alumnus and owner of Green Gables Photography, Mr. Myron Bursell and his wife Rita. We would also like to thank all group, deputy group, and squadron commanders, honorary commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and members of Team Fairchild in attendance virtually today. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is my pleasure to welcome the presiding officer for today's ceremony, Colonel Bentley.
Good morning. I feel like I was just here yesterday doing the same thing. It's a transition period where we change leaders, but as a strategic warfighting wing, we are not allowed to change our posture, our readiness, our execution. Because just as Colonel Davis often states, our efforts on the international stage for the largest air refueling wing in the universe is absolutely crucial in saving American lives today and securing American freedoms tomorrow. Colonel Davis also knows that the men and women of the 92nd Operations Group are always ready to answer our nation's call and deliver its response anytime, anywhere. And as Colonel Davis stated in his last email to his group at 5:30 p.m. last night, never forget what we do matters. We need you and that you can make a difference in one another's lives through everyday leadership. But as we go forward, I will discuss how Russ exuded everyday leadership and did so exceptionally in setting the posture for our airmen to execute our nation's strategic objectives. And at the end, I will also share how Colonel Chad Daniels is the absolute perfect choice to pick up the mantle. But let's do some thank yous and mention the DVs in the audience first. National Anthem. Sydney, that was awesome. If you don't know, Sydney's part of the protocol team as well, so I know we always have something in our back pocket in case another singer doesn't show up. So job well done. Chaplain Ritter, great words once again. Rory, good job narrating. Look sharp in your service dress there. And then also the team, Albert Steen, I think you're somewhere here. A lot of hard work with you in protocol, and I think protocol is celebrating because this is their 11th change of command and the last one for the season. So job well done. And Charlie, I practiced your last name all last night. I still think I have it right, so I'm just going to say Charlie. Glad to see you here. No. And if it wasn't being taped, maybe. Colonel Gardner, it's great to see you and the rest of the 141st. Great partnership. Team Jacobus, all the group commanders here today, spouses. And we got somebody special here today as well. Not wearing a uniform, but Colonel Retired, casual, Mike Johnson. Good to see you. I think he's about to hit off the road here to Virginia after this is over with. Squadron Commanders, Chiefs, leaders, friends, and especially the special friends that Russ talks about quite a bit, Myron and Rita Burcell, thank you for coming. And for those many friends and family members joining on Facebook, welcome to today's ceremony. But as I mentioned yesterday, the real DVs are those here in the front row. I did have Russ's wife, Michelle, who's been married to for 25 years, but I was corrected on the outside. Dr. Davis, welcome. Just graduated from the Gonzaga with her doctorate in educational leadership. Job well done. And then also his daughter, Haley, his mom, Janine. Did I get that right? And then also his Michelle's dad, Chief Master Sergeant retired, Jeff Cheetah, who served in our Air Force for 28 years. Sir, thank you for your service. Mom, Russ told me you taught him all about tenacity. But we also have folks that are not able to attend today. His son, Andrew, a second lieutenant, currently at Air Force Institute of Technology, getting his master's in computer science. So maybe he'll get stationed here someday. And then also his dad, Robert Davis, who's watching. Russ said that he taught him the value of hard work and integrity. Mom and Dad watching, the tenacity, the hard work, integrity you taught Russ is clear throughout his Air Force career. Job well done. Colonel Russ Davis, I looked at your records, but I want you to know this part of the speech comes directly from Colonel Derek Salmi, my predecessor. He spoke highly of you and your tenure, and this is what he shared. As the OG, you were always out front and driving the group forward and making things better for the long term. Colonel Salmi says you were always dialed in with anything in our #1 nuclear mission. You were absolutely central to all the big ticket items over the past 2 years to include the largest Skyfest air show ever, and it was the largest because of you, the relationships you established with the units, with training opportunities to guarantee that they would come here for our air show. Thank you. At Mobility Garden, you served both as the Expeditionary Operations Group Commander and also the Air Boss. And he brought in 52 aircraft, 2,500 personnel for 28 allied nations. And I think it was most important, as we did a full range of mobility operations during the exercises, that we had 0 mishaps across 388 missions. Colonel Salmi said Russ really set the groundwork in turning Fairchild into an air mobility hub. He also at the same time had to lead a 92nd OG who was dispersed in 9 different locations, still executing operational missions. And with the addition of 12 KC-135s, Russ was a tireless advocate for the stand-up of the 97th Air Refueling Squadron, and now the 92nd OG is the largest operations group in AMC. Colonel Salmi passed while managing the big muscle movements. Russ got the little details right as well. Advocated for budgets, additional training, quality of life initiatives, building spaces. He also set up the processes to make the growing OG so successful. His risk to force models were praised by both the AMC commander and the 18th Air Force commander, and advocated for its use across the command. Lastly, for COVID-19, he said you set the standard for all us to follow. And the models that you built protected the crew force and kept the wing always a step ahead of higher order taskings. Bottom line, Russ did a lot and was able to raise previous mission ready status from the mid 60% to the now standard watermark, 96%. Job well done. Dr. Davis, Haley, when I say Cooperstown, New York, Canton, Ohio, Springfield, Massachusetts, and Fairchild Air Force Base, Washington, what do those 4 places have in common? Anyone in the audience, what do they have in common?
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. They're all location of Hall of Fames. The last one being the Hall of Fame for the KC-135s. Now listen to me. Colonel Russ Davis is a first-time ballot KC-130 Hall of Famer. What he has done in the last 2 years as the 92nd Operations Group Commander has cemented that selection. Thank you, Russ, for caring so much for our mission and translating that importance to our airmen. And thank you, Michelle, Dr. Davis, for your support as well. We wish you the best as you have a long stopover in D.C. before your next journey into Egypt. In a moment, we'll continue a time-honored tradition of passing the Godon. Though the Godon is light, the burden that comes along with it is anything but. The wing is incredibly fortunate to welcome Colonel Chad Daniels and his DV's in the front audience. His wife, Tina, 27 years strong, and daughter, Summer, freshman at Washington State University. Daughter, Kirsten, a first lieutenant intel officer at Seymour Johnson, who surprised the family with the birthday of the mom. Was it on the 14th of July? And then I guess secondary to come to your dad's chain of command. We all know most important is mom. We also have some of Chad's watching to include daughter Caitlin, a rising sophomore at East Carolina University, and his parents, his dad, Charles Daniels, and his mom, Claire Pollier. I got that right? Both parents taught Chad to love his country, always look out for your neighbors, and treat others in a way which you want to be treated. Chad, we are all eager to watch you lead your airmen with those traits that your parents taught you. To the Operations Group Airmen, you're getting an incredible leader. So let's talk a little bit about Chad Daniels. He started out in the maintenance community with a tour at Luke Air Force Base. Then he went to pilot training, graduated in 2000, and he grew up in the KC-135 community, cutting his teeth at the much smaller and not as capable air refueling wing, McConnell Air Force Base. But one good thing, he was assigned to the 384th Square Patchers, a squadron that proudly sits here now at Fairchild Air Force Base. And Chad was such a great KC-135 instructor, he was sent to Columbus Air Force Base to be a T1 instructor and a flight commander, to teach and, more importantly, build our future Air Force with the world's best pilots. This takes tremendous skills, leadership, and patience. They're known for his talent and his ability to connect with both students and others. Chad became the wing exec and left as the #1 CGO in such a tough base. He was rewarded with that tour by going to Royal Air Force Mildenhall, the second best KC-135 air refueling wing in the world. At Mildenhall, Chad led and executed several of our nation's #1 priority missions. And he served as an assistant director of operations and a temporary director of operations, and culminated his career at Mildenhall as the exec to the 3rd Air Force commander. He then got his study on at Maxwell Air Force Base for Air Command and Staff College, and then he was off to Kuwait for 2 years to serve as CENTCOM Foreign Military Sales Coordinator, Air and Sea Systems. Not 100% sure what all you did there, but I take it was important in shaping American policy in international sales with our Middle East partners. After that tour, Chad returned back to the KC-135 for the 3rd time, where he excelled at a Total Force Integration TFI unit in Seymour Johnson, and left as the #1 Squadron Commander and got some training for today's job as serving as a Deputy Operations Group Commander. He then left for Ramstein to serve in the 603rd Air Operations Center, coordinating all air movements and balancing requirements for the Enterprise's capability. Then back to school as an Air Force Fellow, studying at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy, and then wrapping up before getting here as a U.S. Transcom liaison to U.S. Southcom. What hopefully you picked up from that short and quick description of Chad's career is that he has the perfect pedigree to lead the 92nd Operations Group. 92nd Operations Group members, Colonel Daniels is returning to the KC-135 for the 4th time. And in doing so, you are getting the right leader, a leader built for this all-important strategic base, a leader who knows the importance of relationships, total force integration, a leader who understands higher headquarters taskings and how to best provide the context of our capacity and capability, and most importantly, a leader that deeply cares for his airmen and their families and knows sky-high morale goes a long way in securing elite mission execution. Colonel Daniels, this is the right place for you and the family. You're the perfect choice to carry the 92nd OG God on. You're welcome. And to lead this incredible team. Congratulations to you both. Now let's continue on with the ceremony.
Thank you, Colonel Bentley. Ladies and gentlemen present in the room, please stand. Would Colonel Davis please come forward and join Colonel Bentley for the presentation of the Legion of Merit and the pinning on of the medal by Colonel Davis's wife, Michelle. Attention orders. Colonel Russell O. Davis distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 92nd Operations Group, Fairchild, Washington, from 12 July 2018 to 15 July 2020. In this capacity, Colonel Davis's leadership, exemplary foresight, and unwavering efforts directly resulted in the effectiveness and success of the Air Force's largest air refueling wing mission. Through unmatched operational acumen, Colonel Davis reshaped full-spectrum readiness training, preparing air crews for high-end conflict by leading several initiatives, including the KC-135 Minimum Interval Takeoff Certification Program and enhanced simulator training. His focused efforts directly contributed to the group's highest annual mission readiness rates in over 10 years. Further, Colonel Davis was selected as the Director of Mobility Forces for Exercise Global Thunder, where he served as Senior Mobility Air Force's subject matter expert at the Major Command and Combatant Command level. Colonel Davis worked tirelessly to bolster relationships with the Air National Guard and Air Force Reserve leadership, resulting in unparalleled support and mission execution. His collaborative approach underpinned the reinvigoration of KC-135 Weapons System Council and unification of Total Force KC-135 leadership. Additionally, Colonel Davis served as the Exercise Operations Group Commander and Air Boss for Exercise Mobility Guardian in 2019. In these key roles, he oversaw the execution of 388 airlift, air refueling, and aeromedical evacuation missions on 52 aircraft from 26 countries. His efforts led to Fairchild's first ever selection as Air Mobility Command's nominee for the Commander-in-Chief Installation Excellence Award and the Air Force's honorable mention, in addition to the of strategic vision and crisis leadership, were critical to the safety of over 650 airmen and sustainment of national defense through the coronavirus national emergency. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Davis reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. At this time, the Commander, 141st Operations Group, Colonel Nolting, would like to present Colonel Davis with the Washington Air National Guard Meritorious Service Medal, being pinned on by Colonel Davis's mother, Janine.
Publish the order.
Attention orders. Colonel Russell Davis distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the Washington Air National Guard as Commander, 92nd Operations Group from 10 July 2018 to 17 July 2020. During this period, the steadfast commitment and decisive leadership of Colonel Daniels resulted in historic advancement of Fairchild Air Force Base's Classic Association. Immediately upon taking command, he cultivated a total force approach to operations by conflating the association's strength and increasing integration opportunities. He was influential in promoting 351 hours of interfly across 7 combatant commands, combining 10 standardization and evaluations publications, and assigning key staff to our nuclear and conventional alert missions. Due to his continued advocacy with headquarters, the Alert Force realized a 37% increase in authorizations, securing the Guard's role in Operation Noble Eagle, which contributed to a combined total of 39 launches and over 1.3 million pounds of fuel offloaded to receiver aircraft in defense of our homeland. Furthermore, he inextricably linked national defense strategy to Team Fairchild's readiness and provided an instructor cadre to jumpstart the Guard's minimum interval takeoff certifications. Finally, his exceeding propensity to support Guard missions helped facilitate the airlift and exposure of 142 state and federal congressional representatives, as well as civic leaders, to the strategic importance of the air refueling mission. The distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Davis reflect great credit upon himself and the Washington Air National Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander, 92nd Operations Group, Colonel Davis, will now give his final remarks.
Well, hey, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today? It's a great day to be an American, I tell you. It's a tough day to be the outgoing Operations Group commander. This has been the most rich and rewarding experience I've had in 28 years. Getting to know the men and women of the 92nd Air Refueling Wing and the 92nd Operations Group has been a distinctive pleasure and honor for me. And I want to start off just by recognizing some of our DVs before I go into the detailed thanks for those folks that made tremendous impacts on me and my family. Colonel Bentley, Trina, thank you for being here today, and thank you for presiding over this ceremony. The wing is in great hands. I would extend if they'd let me. I just really enjoyed getting to know you these last 2 weeks, and I deeply appreciate your listening ear and your energy, and you're just going to be an amazing leader for this wing. So, and thank you for those kind words. Those are awesome. Gene, Heather, fellow Circle members here. There's quite a few in the audience. Gene, I've told you this privately. I'll tell you this publicly. Wow, you made such a difference in my life as a leader. I was just amazed at how you stepped into your role and owned it, and you took great care of us group commanders. So thank you for that. And Heather, thank you for taking care of Gene. He needs all the help he can get. So stupid COVID prevented us from getting together a few more times than we probably wanted to, for sure. But I hope that the conditions change soon so you can get to know your new neighbors, because the Circle is a great place to live. So, Colonel Gardner, thank you for being here today, sir. We met a little over a year ago, right prior to the Lilac Festival, and I knew right away you were the right man for the job. You have an amazing attitude. The leadership that you exude and the climate that you've created for the 141st has allowed for both organizations to rise to the next level, sir. So thank you for that. Absolutely. I want to also thank Colonel Taniga, Kurt. We've spent many an hour or two in the CAT grappling with our world's toughest problems. So I always appreciate your operational focus and your levity. Your sense of humor always helped to lighten my day and kept me smiling. So thank you for being that great mission partner. That was awesome. Chief Ives, we got to enjoy a couple meals together back east here recently, right before the COVID kicked in. And it was great getting to know you and meet your wife. You are an awesome chief. I deeply appreciate your passion and your focus on your airmen. So it's very clear to me. Chief Hodges couldn't be here today, but if he was here, I'd tell him the same thing. He is an outstanding command chief. I wish he could be here to tell him thanks in person, but hopefully he's able to watch this. And Chief, I sure appreciate getting to know you, and thank you for taking care of my airmen. Charlie Durarana, did I get it right? Is that close? Okay, all right. Sorry, I tried. Charlie, we first met about 2 years ago when I happened to be the acting wing commander for a couple of weeks shortly after taking command. I think you're going to be in a similar position. Congratulations. And we got to host the Military Family Summit together. And we brought a few heavy hitters out here, and the wing hit a home run. And that was a wing effort, and I just happened to be the guy that got to be up there to do a couple introductory remarks. But Charlie, your continued advocacy and support for our airmen and our U.S. Air Force and our military personnel to Congresswoman Catherine McMorris Rogers has been just incredible. So thank you for that, and thank you for the friendship. Myron Arita, we met just by hapstance because you came to everything. And I thought, well, this is a guy I want to get to know because he's here at all of our events. And then that hapstance introduction turned into a blossoming friendship. You took care of our airmen. Thank you so much for doing that last year with the hero shots. That was amazing. Thank you for being my special guest at many of our events. And just thank you for your continued interest and caring in our airmen and our lives. And thank you for the friendship. It's been fantastic. Now that I've said the thanks to the distinguished visitors, I want to say thanks to the rest of the distinguished visitors. I want to start by thanking God. Had it not been for the grace of God, I would not be here today. So God has guided our life throughout many difficult times. And I tell you, the life of a commander is the life of living on a roller coaster. You can go from having the most fun in your entire life in one morning, and then 3 hours later, not so much. And that constant change had the hand of God on it throughout to make sure that we did the right thing to take care of the mission and take care of our airmen. So thank you, God, for bringing him here today. I also want to thank those that helped to organize and execute this amazing event. It's a tough one. We were grappling with how we were going to do this in a way that was reflective of what the importance and significance is of giving this command to Colonel Daniels, and this has come together very, very nicely. So, Sydney, as always, your national anthem is eye-watering. I don't know if you noticed, but it got me. And of course, you were out here kind of making things come together as well. So thank you for that so much. Chaplain Ritter, you were our group chaplain for my first year in command. We had dinner together at the Christmas party. I got to know you quite a bit there, so that was awesome. So thank you for sitting by me. Nobody else did, so they were like, "That's the group commander," and then a couple airmen finally showed up, and they had no idea. So it was awesome, and we had a great time. The lead organizer for this event was Captain Al Steen. Al can't be with us today because of stupid COVID, but thank you, Al, for putting this thing together. This is awesome. Narrator, Rory, well done. Appreciate it. Scripts invitation programs as a team effort. Tech Sergeant Darlene McCarricker, Lieutenant Alexander Richardson, Lieutenant Steve Lau, Captain Tay Kim, and Lieutenant Matt Cottonsteady. It's my favorite last name, by the way, Cottonsteady. Doesn't look at all like that, but thanks to all y'all for putting this together. The details of this event have been done to the fine tip, and it's definitely being executed as such. So, and Angela, I don't see you in here anymore because you're always behind the scenes making things happen. You're the best protocol that I've seen in 28 years. I told you that about an hour ago, and thank you so much for just your guiding hand to make sure these events come together nicely. I want to take some time to thank some senior leaders that have been a big part of my life in the last couple of years. So I want to start off with thanking Colonel Salmi. I know he's somewhere probably on the net. He'll probably watch this at some point. And Colonel Salmi, the trust and confidence that you gave to me to be able to lead my group was unparalleled. You allowed me all the tools that I needed to take care of the 700 plus airmen in the 92nd Operations Group, and I couldn't have done it without you. We were teammates throughout some of the most difficult and challenging events that I think any commander has to face. Certainly Mobility Guardian was one of them. COVID is absolutely another. So Colonel Salmi, thank you for that, and good luck in your next assignment, and I look forward to seeing you again someday. Greg and Christy Nolting, my partners in crime. So shortly after I got to know Greg, I got to know a man that is committed to the mission and his people. And he's also just a great guy. I really deeply appreciated the friendship that we had. We had some fun along the way. We got to do the America Strong flyover together as a two-ship formation. It was awesome having one of us in each of the jets to kind of make sure that our folks were doing what they were going to do safely, because that was a tough mission. That was challenging. And by the way, we had no radio comm between the two jets. And we flew that whole formation over all those medical service providers for about 2 hours all throughout the state of Washington, and did it perfectly. And we recognized their efforts during this difficult time. Also had a few opportunities to race you. You're a pretty good racer. You're fast. This guy can ride a go-kart like you wouldn't believe. So, and he's not as dangerous as me either. So Greg, thank you for the partnership. Thank you for being open-minded to change and allowing me into your family, both with Christy and your larger family with the 141st Operations Group. It's meant so much to me, so thank you so much for that. Mike and Tina Johnson, my other partner in crime. So I said a lot about you yesterday. Well, it turns out a lot. So I'm sorry about making you late to your meeting, sir. So, but I just had a lot to say. So I'll end with just, Mike, thank you for the friendship and thank you for the collaboration. All successful organizations come about because of collaboration, teamwork, and mutual respect. And Mike, you embodied that, and I sure appreciate that. I look forward to getting to hang out with you back east here soon. So now that I have one of your going away gifts that I'm going to hold captive until you come visit. So, Dave, where's Dave Kemple at? Dave, all right, Dave I've known since 2012. Had an opportunity to take care of Dave back then, and Dave took care of me here. So thank you for doing that. You're definitely one I knew that I could count on to give me some great insights and some great tips. And I listened to every one of them. You know that, right? So, except for giving you an exec, I wasn't able to pull that one off. I'm sorry about that. So, but everything else was fantastic. Mike Freeman, new MSG, thank you for being here. Sure appreciate it. Congratulations again on taking command. You've got an awesome organization. You're going to be a part of a great team that lives in a really awesome place too in the circle. So, Mike and Heidi O'Connor, my maintenance brethren. So, wow. What an amazing experience, huh? We developed, I think, a really good model to figure out exactly how much we needed, and we executed it, and we're still executing it today. We have the most mission-ready force in the history of Fairchild Air Force Base as of July 1st than we've ever had, and it's because of your efforts to maintain that 62-year-old airplane in pristine condition, to get our air crew up in the air, to refuel our receivers, to further our national security goals, and to bring them home safely. So to you and your airmen, thank you. You're true professionals, and your efforts are outstanding. And I sure enjoyed our time sitting around the fire and going skiing and kind of talking about life's challenges there. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, Lisa. A couple other folks that are here, of course, Heather and Mark, I see you in the back there. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for taking care of the health and welfare of my airmen. That's an absolute critical role, especially in these times. These are tough times to command. I can think of none tougher. And we've had some challenges along the way. And you are on the front lines of this. And you've done a superb job protecting the airmen of the 92nd Operations Group and our mission. Keep it up. We couldn't do without you. So thank you so much. And Mark, so thankful you're part of the team. So great to have you. Carlos and Nicole Brown have departed. They retired about a week and a half ago, and they were great neighbors. We shared a fence and got together with them. We actually went on a cruise with them before coronavirus. We got off the ship about 2 weeks prior, and thank goodness, because we'd still be out to sea if we didn't. But it was great getting to know Carlos and Nicole, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them in retirement. Nick, if you're in the audience there, thanks for coming. I see you at the mask. It's concealing there. So I appreciate you coming out here. You're stepping into an awesome organization with some great teammates, and they're going to take great care of you. So I wish I would have had more time to get to know you, but you'll have a great experience here at Fairchild. So Al Carney, the #1 civilian in all of the United States Air Force, right over here. He's seen this come and go once or twice. I'm talking too much, that's why my voice is drying out, but I'm going to continue. Al, I deeply appreciated the passion, the insights, and the teamwork that we had throughout. We worked through some tough problems, and at the end of the day, we made it better. So thank you for that. I deeply appreciate it. Mr. Jeff Johnson, former Operations Group Commander in the back there. So Jeff, you were a sounding board for me at times. You gave me some great feedback, and I deeply appreciated that. I know we had a few opportunities to brush up against each other, but we always stepped away from it knowing that we were trying to take care of our own and do the right thing. And you've always done a superb job with that. I was thankful that there was an operator in the MSG front office. I thought that was pretty cool. But I also was thankful for the friendship and just the insight and the guidance that you provided along the way. We went out to Bill for Operation Early Spring about a year and a half ago, and we got to generate up to our nuclear command control capabilities in a real quick and an efficient way, and Jeff was there to provide some great insights. So senior leaders, couldn't have done without you. Thank you for all of the teamwork that we had throughout, the experiences, and I deeply cherished all of those. So there are other folks here in the audience and on the net that I want to thank as well. Squadron Commanders, those are the departed. Lieutenant Colonel Sean McClune, Lieutenant Colonel Matt Collins, Lieutenant Colonel Adam Rosado, Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Parsons. You are where the rubber meets the road. And same with my new current commanders. Lieutenant Colonel Cindy Dawson, Lieutenant Colonel Don Hildebrand, Bryce Dibble, Aaron Strode, Brianna McNair, and Scott Davis. It's a lot of squadron commanders. It's actually the biggest operations group in Air Mobility Command, in case anybody was wondering. 6 squadrons. So you guys made it look easy. You took care of your airmen. You took care of me. And I was reflecting upon all that we've accomplished, and it couldn't have been done without your leadership and those that came before you. So thank you for that. We have taken the 92nd Operations Group together to the next level. Our airmen are happy. They're home more. They're more mission effective. And the cohesiveness of the 92nd Operations Group is second to none. So, and that is because of your direct leadership of your airmen and your caring. So thank you for that. I deeply appreciate it. I also want to thank the 519th. Dizzy, I see you out there. Thanks for bringing me into your organization. I really enjoyed being a guest speaker over there. I got to talk war plans and strategy, right? And I love that stuff. So, and I also really enjoy getting to know your instructors and some of your students too. I'm very excited at the number of Fairchild Air Force Base airmen going through your weapons school right now, and I hope that we can keep it up. It's going to be a great change for our base, and it also develops our officers to the highest quality, best officers they can be. I have the deepest respect for weapons officers. I never measured up, so I didn't get to go, but I got a chance to kind of tip my toes into that pool a little bit and come over and spend time with you guys. So thank you for that, Dizzy. I appreciate it. I also want to thank all the other squadron commanders and senior leaders within the MXG, MSG, and Med Group for enabling our daily operations and supporting my airmen. It's a team effort. Could not get the gear in the well without each and every one of you airmen. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for all you're doing. I'm going to transition now to thank my staff. There are some in here, some not in here. I want to start by thanking Tammy. Tammy couldn't be here today because, you know, Tammy's a deep blue when it comes to the 4 colors, and I don't think she'd have made it through the ceremony. So, but Tammy, thank you for all you did to support me. You were there with me for the full 2 years, through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the fun. So, and Tammy, you're all heart. You're the heart and soul of the operations group, and I'm just thankful that you're still part of it. And I know Chad is going to be well taken care of in your hands because you are the most outstanding executive assistant that I have ever seen. You were amazing. So, Sergeant Zavala, Sergeant McCarricker, outstanding support. Sure appreciate all you've done, taking care of the airmen, taking care of the mission. And we've said a lot of things in the last couple of days, and you know what I think about you, and I deeply appreciate you. Greg Johnson, see you in the back there. Greg, you found money for us where money was not to be found. Because of that, the 92nd Operations Group was able to get resources that most can't get. By the way, there's not a single KC-135 seat left in the United States Air Force right now because they're all coming here. So nice job, Greg. And it's been a great ride with you. Sure appreciate all you've done. So Adriana, Clint, Ace, Matt, Corinne, my execs, my CCA. Wow, I'm a tough guy to work for. It's tough being an exec working for a former exec. And I've done that once. I hated it, and I'm sure you did too for a little while. So you stepped up your game, you smoked it, and you've got us on track. Our reports are tight, our timelines are tight, and I think you're getting a very good process in place there, Chad. So you got a great team. I also want to thank all those that passed through the OG doors in the last 2 years. So next up, I'm going to go to my deputies. Had some deputies both past and present. Lieutenant Colonel Chad Marchessault. Chad's going to be retiring tomorrow. Chad and I came in the Air Force about the same time, it turned out. He came in about a month after me in 1992. I think we actually were in basic training for a couple days together. So I met Chad as a first lieutenant at Grand Forks Air Force Base, where I've met a couple other folks in the audience too. Chad is an outstanding officer, and I'm really excited for what's next for him. So he carried the water for me the first year of my command, and I couldn't have done it without him. That was a tough year, and Chad did a superb job maintaining ops and keeping me out of trouble. Then I got a couple more execs after that. I got Lieutenant Colonel Grim Gould, Brett Fish, and Mike Street. So Chad, there you go. It took 3 to replace 1. So that's a real testament to who you are and what you did. But really, those 3 execs deputies rather, are here in the audience, and you were my sounding boards. You kept me sane. You took care of the mission. You took care of the people. And you allowed the operations group to take it to the next level. You gave us more decision space and more time to kind of figure out those tough solutions or those tough problems and their solutions. So, guys, it was awesome hanging out with you. So you made me a better officer and a better person. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to thank my chiefs, Chris. Chris and I, for those that don't know, met about 18 years ago, I think. So it was Senior Airman Ruckert and Captain Davis, and he was my NCOIC when I was a flight commander. And just a good representation of how small the Air Force is and how you should remember that, right? That it's a small Air Force. And I tell you, I was so thankful when I saw your name come up on the list of people I could interview. I mean, you had the job before you even interviewed, by the way, and you know that. So the last year that we've had together has been a tumultuous year. I warned you before you even came out here. But boy, you crushed it. You took care of the mission. You took care of airmen. You moved the ball forward on some very tough, sticky issues, and boy, you're a great partner. You kept me moving in the right direction throughout. So Chris, thank you for doing that. And Heather, you've been a great teammate for Michelle. She really enjoyed the time that we had together and the time that you two spent together. So thank you for being that amazing, supportive spouse, carrying Chris on your shoulders throughout his 20 years in service now. So thank you for that. Andre is not here, but Chief Inman has been with me for 2 years, and she was the one that would say, "Sir, are you sure you want to do that?" So she was sort of my barometer for good or bad choices or decisions. And you got to have one of those, right? Because if you don't, you're going to just go down that primrose path and probably make a couple of bad choices, which I absolutely own every one of those, because I probably didn't listen to Andre Inman, so or I didn't listen enough. So Chief, thank you for all you did to take care of me and the airmen. I know you cared about them. You're all heart. And I look forward to seeing what you can do in the future. So I want to give a quick shout out to those that are watching virtually. Lieutenant General Tuck, sir, I wouldn't be here without your endorsement and your support. You are, of course, our squadron commander in the 905th at Grand Forks, and you saw fit to put me in this position. I know you did, sir, and I deeply appreciate it. I hope I didn't let you down. Worked pretty hard to not do that. So Major General Mike Keltz, sir, you were committed to me, and that commitment allowed me to develop into the officer I am today. Our time spent in Hawaii was amazing, and I couldn't have done it without you, sir. So thank you for that. Colonel Greg Keithler, you've been a mentor since I was an Airman Basic. Sir, I've known you for most of my life, and sorry, I'm thirsty. And you've been there to provide great insights throughout. So thank you for that, sir. Colonel Brian Newberry, you set the conditions for me to be here today. You hired me to be a squadron commander, and you didn't know me. You took a gamble, and I think it paid off because I'm able to stand in front of everybody today. And as the Navy says, they played some music at my change of command. So it was a successful command, sir. So thank you for that. There have been countless other mentors along the way, too many to list here, and I just want to make sure that that everything that you did to impart what being a good officer, a good person is what I'm striving to do today. Also want to thank friends and family members that could not be here in person because of COVID. We miss you, but we'll be thinking about you. Next is my family. So Andrew, Lieutenant Andrew Davis. One of the blessings of being here in the Pacific Northwest was we got to be near our 2 kids when they were going to school. And last year I got to commission Andrew. And that was very special for me. And just seeing Andrew grow into the man that he is and watching that development has just been incredible. Andrew, you're an awesome son. I don't understand about half of what you're saying these days because you're so smart. Sorry, I'll work on it. But I do appreciate everything you've done to take care of yourself, and I'm excited about what the future has in store for you. Haley, we've had 2 years to hang out with you here, back and forth to Portland all the time. You are amazing. You are amazing. I love you so much, and thank you for all you do. You're just the sweetest, kindest person out there, and I'm just so thankful that you put up with me during this last 2 years. So I know I was kind of a turkey sometimes. So, Mom, thank you for being here. You've never missed one of these, ever. And it's funny, today she asked, can I bring my camera in? And I'm thinking, why would she ask that? And I'm like, oh yeah, because she's been to so many of these. There's been places where she can't bring her camera in. And you can bring your camera in, Mom, it's good. So, but thank you for the support and love. I sure appreciate it. My dad, I know you're out there in Utah, suffering through the sweltering heat. Sure miss you. Look forward to seeing you here in about a week and a half, and we'll talk more then. But I love you, and you take care of yourself. My father-in-law, Jeff, Chief Cheetah, you've had a huge impact on my life and my career. Thank you for just having developed the most wonderful person in my life, Michelle. Boy, I'm really thirsty. So she is amazing, and she wouldn't be the woman she is without you and Debbie to make her who she is. So thank you for that. That is the greatest gift that anybody could hope for. So, and of course, my lovely bride, Dr. Michelle Davis. So that's a new thing. That happened last night, by the way. That's why we're chuckling a little bit. So she spent the last 2 years both being a command spouse, a mentor for our Key Spouse program, taking care of our airmen as best she could, and also had the free time to get a doctorate from Gonzaga. I don't know how she did it. So, and she did it with style and grace. I mean, she didn't even sweat it. So it was amazing, except for that one time when you deleted your thesis, and Haley and I were typing it on New Year's Eve. I remember that. So back it up, people. I'm telling you, back it up. So that was a stressful one. But Michelle, I love you, and thank you for standing with me, being my sounding board, supporting me through the highs and the lows this last 2 years. Couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. I've got something for you. And of course, in Michelle's true fashion, she always gives me great advice. She said, wrap it up. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to do that. So I'm towards the end here. So she's spot on every time. So, hey, I want to talk to the men and women of the 92nd Operations Group. Every one of you exemplified the professionalism and mission focus the 92nd Operations Group is known for, and I thank you for that. Over the past 2 years, this operations group has improved innumerable processes and secured vast resources needed for mission accomplishment. Grown by 25%, improved our mission ready status rates from the mid-60s to the 96th percentile as of last week. Started squadron deployments, which are game-changing for this force. Owned Operation Juniper Micron, and seen a significant reduction in our employee to dwell on our push tempo rates, enabling more predictability and stability for you and your families. We also enjoyed many fun events like our annual picnics at Clear Lake, our OG Sports Day, where we had a quarantation day shortly after that, and our first annual combat dining out. None of that would have been possible without your hard work, dedication, and mission focus. You made my job as your commander easy and fun, and thank you for that. I'd like to talk a little bit about Chad. Chad, you're an amazing guy. Now, I don't say that because you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth, because we kind of are. Prior enlisted, late rated, maintenance guy. That's kind of where I came from too, actually. And so I know the group is going to be in great hands. We have a lot of shared experiences. We both served in the 3rd Air Force Vice Office. We've been to some of the same schools. But you've done some amazing other things too, and that's going to prepare you to take on this group and take them to the next level. I'm excited for what you're going to do with them. I know you're going to take care of all of our airmen within the operations group, and I say airmen with a capital A. They're the best our nation has to offer, and the sons and daughters of the American people. They won't let you down. They're going to deliver for you. Push them, because they want to get to the next level. I know you're going to take them there. And you're going to be dealing with some challenges, new challenges, but I know you're going to deal with them with style and grace, and you're going to crush it, Chad. I'm really proud to be handing off the operations group to you. We've gotten to know each other via email, text, phone calls, voice FaceTime calls over the last 6 months, and I can't think of a better officer and a better man to take this responsibility. So congratulations, Chad. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes, and I'm cheering for you. So thank you. Appreciate it. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you, Colonel Davis. At this time, the men and the women of the 92nd Operations Group, represented today by Deputy Group Commander Lieutenant Colonel Brett Fish and Operations Group Superintendent Chief Master Sergeant Chris Ruckert, wish to render one last salute to their outgoing commander. Traditionally, the change of command ceremony and responsibility is symbolically marked by the relinquishment of the unit guidon by the outgoing commander to the presiding official, who then presents the guidon and thus authority to the incoming commander. While the official party will not physically pass the guidon due to health guidelines, the spirit of transferring complete and total responsibility from one commander to the next still remains. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command ceremony.
Publish the order.
Attention orders. Department of the Air Force Headquarters, 92nd Air Refueling Wing, Fairchild Air Force Base, Washington. Special Order GS-20-005. Subject, change of command. Under the provision of Air Force Instruction 51-604 and effective 16 July 2020, Colonel Russell Davis is relieved of command of the 92nd Operations Group and Colonel Christopher Daniels assumes command.
Sir, I assume command. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor to present to you the Commander, 92nd Operations Group, Colonel Chad Daniels.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. So the good news for you guys is I don't have quite as much to say as Russ did. And I've got to go to the bathroom. So those two things right there will kind of help this thing out go pretty quick. And I also got to find my change of command speech here. All right, I had to write everything down. It's a little bigger font than I'm used to because apparently I'm getting older. But I wanted to thank everybody for being here. Good morning. Thank you for taking time to be here. I know you have busy schedules. Everybody has a lot to do, so I'll try to be respectful of your time. I've heard it before that faster is funnier, so I'm going to try to be funny. So you honor my family and I with your presence here today. I'd like to begin by extending a public thank you to Colonel Salmi and Colonel Bentley. Thank you for taking a chance on me. Kind of like Vegas, but you never know what you're going to get. But thank you for gambling on me. Colonel Davis, thank you, and Michelle, for the way you left the group here. So appreciate all your efforts here. I know you worked hard. I know it was tireless, and it's obvious by how everything is going here and how you're respected here. So thank you very much. We got big shoes to fill here. I'd also like to thank all who warmly welcomed Tina and Summer and I to Fairchild. We felt so welcomed here. Gene and others, thank you very much. Colonel Bentley, thank you very much. Trina, very much. Thank you. It's very, very nice for you to stop by. Heather, as well. So, Colonel Jacobus, Chief Hodges, thanks for being here. Colonel Gardner, Chief Ives, Colonel Tasinga. Did I goof that? I'm sorry. I'll learn it by the time I have my change of command the next time, if I get music. So thank you for representing the 141st Air Refueling Wing. Colonel Nolting, thank you for being here as well. Look forward to seeing you again. I know you and I probably spent some time at Altus together. We're trying to figure out where it was. I think that's where it was, going through recall. Fellow group commanders, thank you for being here. I hope we can have a close and strong partnership as we work together to ensure Team Fairchild not only remains the world's KC-135 Center of Excellence, but through our cooperation and unity, make it stronger, accelerate to faster speeds, and climb to even higher heights. Honor Guard, great job today. Tech Sergeant DiVitale, thank you very much for that rendition. It was powerful. Chaplain Ritter, thank you for your inspiring prayer. Captain Cooley, thanks for doing the narration today. Appreciate that. Great job. A lot better on the clapping and stuff than our practice, so it's good. Captain Steen and Prescott, Tammy Nelson, all who helped us in any way, thank you for the practical assistance of putting this together. It's a big deal. It's difficult. It's challenging in this environment, as Colonel Davis said. Since I have no way to know who successfully dialed in today, I'd like to thank all of my former commanders, bosses, friends, and family watching virtually, and for those who were able to make it. Mom and Dad, hope you were able to log on to the event. I love you guys. I know you are technically challenged, but as I am, but thank you for trying. Tina, Kirsten, Summer, thank you for being here today. As always, an honor. As some of you know, my oldest daughter, First Lieutenant Kirsten Kent, she planned and executed an operation to surprise me by flying in for the ceremony, and she succeeded. I love my family. We have great kids. I witnessed many of my fellow airmen displaying faith and trust in a higher power, as Russ did earlier, using various methods and conduits to reach him, from adherence to the laws of the Jewish Torah to Muslims' obedience to the teachings of the Quran and Hadith, to various other religious expressions. Many of us seek a power outside of ourselves to provide strength, foundation, and a purpose in this life. In fact, social scientists have long known that the holistic benefits of faith in a higher being or a purpose larger than oneself, why people are attracted to the military, why they stay. My personal conduit to God happens to be his son, Jesus Christ, whom I honor here today. I believe that my success in the Air Force is directly attributable to his provision, love, and grace, working alongside and through my very wonderful family. You know, Air Force temporary living facilities are not known for their views. But the views we've had in this TLF have been downright inspiring, Michael. You see, our TLF sits overlooking a farmer's field, and with rolling hills in the distance and contrasting colors of green and brown, mingling with blue and colored skies, demonstrating that God is both artist and architect. But that's not what puts this view over the top. What puts it over the top is that we're situated on prime real estate at the end of runway 23. And watching the mighty KC-135 Stratotanker take off into blue skies never gets old. Some days I just stood in the backyard with our 2-year-old giant Schnauzer Silver and my coffee cup, watching Team Ops take off. And Silver and I are big fans. For those of you who may not know, the 92nd Operations Group has a proud and storied past, confirmed by the many awards and accolades received during wartime. Some of the history is in your program. From the skies over Europe during World War II as the 92nd Bombardment Group, where the officer for whom this building is named earned the Medal of Honor, to dangerous and difficult missions over Korea, to the subsequent inactivation and reactivation of the 92nd Operations Group, the legend and heritage of the 92nd grew. In 1994, the group began flying KC-135s exclusively as part of Air Mobility Command. Since then, the 92nd ARS has executed post-9/11 combat and real-world missions all over the globe, and our aircrews have flown with professionalism, honor, and commitment. Of course, it's not just the aircrew that hacked the mission, and many non-rated operations personnel make up Team Ops. In fact, as I reviewed the personnel tempo, it became quite clear that our non-rated ops personnel are proudly serving both here and downrange at sacrificial levels. We simply cannot do our wing's mission of providing air refueling, airlift, and air medevac anytime, anywhere without our total ops team. And the mission of this key and essential wing is vital to our nation's defense. From the rearview mirror of my previous role as U.S. Transportation Command Liaison to U.S. Southern Command, I can confirm by direct personal knowledge our centrality is recognized at the very highest levels of AMC, U.S. Transcom, the Joint Staff, and Department of Defense. Lots of eyes are fixed on our community, and many hopes and emergent war plans are being built upon our ability to deliver global air refueling, airlift, and air medevac as you have over the past 26 years. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. Ops never stops, and no one kicks ass without tanker gas. I'm not allowed to say that word, probably a change of command, but I did. Amazing airmen of the 92nd Operations Group, Tina and I are stoked to join the team. Your legacy of combat effectiveness and global mission successes informs just how blessed I am to serve alongside you. Let's form up and fly faster, be stronger, and climb higher together. Well, as I said earlier, faster is funnier. Unfortunately, that may mean I was not so funny, but funnier than Russ. So I'll wrap up with a quote from a great philosopher, Jim Carrey. Behind every great man is a woman rolling her eyes. Thank you all for attending. These are all mine? Well, they're not mine.
Thank you, Colonel Daniels. At this time, the men and the women of the 92nd Operations Group, represented today by Lieutenant Colonel Brett Fish and Chief Master Sergeant Chris Ruckert, wish to render a first salute to their incoming commander. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the 92nd Operations Group are proud to have served with Colonel Davis. We wish him and his family the best of luck in their new journey. We also welcome Colonel Daniels and his family to the 92nd Operations Group. Thank you to all those who joined us online and for those who made today's ceremony possible. Please stand and join us in singing of the Air Force song. The words are in your program, and please remain standing for the departure of the official party. Off we go into the wild blue.